Hi, today I wanted to show you this thing right here, which is a more complex version of this, which is a barometer, thermometer, and humidity sensor. This has been sitting at my grandparents' house for as long as I can remember. Now it's in my garage / workshop because I wanted to see if it was accurate. Because this measures all three things with the added benefit of tracking them every 10 minutes and then inputting that data on a spreadsheet so you can look at it and maybe even make a graph of it. I haven't tried that yet. Maybe I'll do that during this video. But I made this because a friend of mine was going to try to ferment some beer in his basement, a little room in his basement, and want to make sure that the temperature and the humidity was constant and appropriate for fermentation. And when he was finished with it, he gave it back to me, and I don't need it. I have a thing on my wall that tells me all this stuff, and I mean, I can tell what temperature it is by feeling it with my body. So I'm going to take this apart, and I'm going to use it for something else, which I will show you later. But it's basically just, I'm going to try to attach this digital oscilloscope to it and mount it on my wall so I can use that instead of this little dinky thing that is difficult to read. So I'm going to bring the camera around it and show what this is and show you what it does. It's kind of exciting, and I wanted to provide this information for somebody who might want to do this themselves because it was kind of fun. So this is basically it's just a board that I put a hinge on it and attached it to this big drawer that I found in the scrap pile. And I attached this this monitor that came from a thrift shop to it. You can see I kind of cobbled it together. And all these things are cheap little thrift shop finds. Oh, and there it goes. It popped. By touching it, I made it spring to life. So basically, this is the brains, and it's a little bitty computer called a Raspberry Pi. That's pi as in the number, not the food. And this is attached to these little pink wires which go out and up and to this little module which I bought through Adafruit. And this is the thing that measures all those three conditions. And let me see if I think it's this little thing right here that measures them. Or this. It's one of these little things. So you just attach that to that, and let's see if I can do this. This doesn't have a screen grab program. See, this is a little program called Genie, which the Raspberry Pi program uses for running programs. Oops, it just took a reading. So every 10 minutes it takes temperature, pressure, humidity, and then it says adding this data to the spreadsheet on this very day at this very time. So if I wanted to, and I do want to, I'm going to open that spreadsheet, which is sort of a Linux version of Excel. And down here, I don't know why it starts it at 109. I think, well, actually I do know why. It's because everything from 0 to 108 had been occupied by readings from my friend's house. So now these are mine. I started them yesterday, did I? No. These are previous ones from my friend's house 2 years ago, almost to the day. And then we get to the ones that I made yesterday and today. You see every 10 minutes. Until just now. So this is, let's see if I can remember. I can't remember. It's probably the temperature. Yeah, temperature, pressure, and humidity. So right now, the temperature is almost 23 degrees Celsius, and the pressure's whatever this is, and that is the humidity, 62%. This is all run by a program that I copied from something on the internet. I can't remember where it was now, but here's the program. Oh, I think it'll say, because I'm a responsible person who... There we go. So I copied it for my friend based on code written by Christopher Barnett and Matt Hawkins. And there's the code. So I just copied and pasted it in there as they instructed at Adafruit, where I bought the module. And here's all the information that says what to capture and how often to capture it. Does it actually say? Yeah, it does say. Every 10 minutes in terms of seconds. So 600 seconds. So that's what we have. I have myself a little chart that shows that right now it's 23, but yesterday afternoon it was, well, also 23. So it's pretty constant here in my garage. It's below ground level, and the only difference is the humidity is pretty darn high. Pretty darn high, I'd say. 63. It's not comfortable, but if I go in my house, it'll be much more comfortable because it's air conditioned. So what I'm going to do is take this off and take all this stuff out and see if I can mount this in a smaller container, maybe even on a shelf above my workbench, where I can access it very quickly and measure electronical things with it. But first, let me see. See, I've actually printed all these instructions out for him, so that I can so that he could operate it. And I think around here somewhere it tells him how to make a graph. Oh, convert sheet 1 to graph. That's all I have to do. So, just a second. You can watch from the tripod while I use both hands. And got this whole... I don't know if I can get them all in the same chart. That's the question. I don't even know if I can get them all on the same day on the same chart. Let's just see. Yeah, so when I started it yesterday, it was 25 degrees Celsius about, and it dipped down overnight. This is 43 is the number of entries. So got lower and lower and lower, and it's actually cooled down a lot today. It was very hot yesterday. It was 100 degrees actually in Fahrenheit, and today it's only topped out at 70. So this reflects the temperature exactly. So I don't know how to use this program. I don't know how to use it, but at least there's a way to graph it if you are super duper intelligent, unlike me. But that will be I can keep this program on this little Raspberry Pi for as long as I want. I'm just going to be adding a program called Open Hand Tech. which is supposed to be running this, well, the software for this little device, which is a digital oscilloscope. And according to the internet, all I have to do is plug this into here, plug that into there, and these probes connect to the things I want to measure, and then pretty things will happen on the screen up here, and I'll be a happy boy. But I won't know until I try, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go onto the internet, see if OpenHandTech exists. And look at this. I forgot that I did this for my friend, but when I got this, I put Velcro on here, and then I put it also down here, so I could run around with this thing. And also I bolted all this down, and I used little DuPont cables to attach, so I could actually break this out to a different sensor. And I used plenty of, see, look, I put together a little coil of wire so I could attach it to anything. Aren't I a great guy? So this I will plug into my Handtech oscilloscope, if I can possibly do it. Let's see what happens when I probe the internet. I will now probe the internet. Oh yeah, I remember investigating this. I'm going to have to log into GitHub. Oh brother. Alright, so this will happen in an instant for you. Scene change. I've moved upstairs away from the clammy garage, and I've plugged this in, and I've had to relearn how to use GitHub because I don't use it very much. And now I've downloaded it on the computer, so I'm going to focus in on the screen and see what we can do. I've also brought up this little box that has an oscillator in it that I can measure a sound wave with, which is the whole purpose of doing this. So I'll be hooking that up, and hopefully it works. Let's see. Let's just see. I'm just gonna open it. There it is. So it's on the computer. It's on the Raspberry Pi. Let's see. Yeah, I have my this. It's picking up signals and displaying them on the screen. You probably can't even see that. Well, let's see. I'm gonna plug this in first. This is just a handkerchief box. See, it says handkerchief on there, and I put one of Sam Battle's little super simple oscillators on here with an amplifier circuit, and when I plug it in, it makes a noise like that. I think it makes kind of a nice little noise, and when I can make it go really low, and it doesn't really go really high. Beep, beep, just ends up there. So we'll measure this. We'll see what it does. And I'm going to hook up to the microphone jack, not the microphone jack, the headphone jack. So Oh yeah, something's changing there. Look at that. Yeah. I'm going to focus onto the screen. As I'm hooking it up. There. Okay. So that is channel 1. It's reading from here to here is 100 millivolts. I can change that to 1 volt. Tiny. Let's do 100. Yeah, it's reading that signal. Let's see if we can make it bigger. There. So now the time base, now I'm expanding the time base. This is the time. So between here and here is 10 milliseconds. And I want to read AC, don't I? It's not letting me read AC, for goodness sakes. Why is that? I don't know. Okay, anyway, that is a success. Now I can take that, or let's zoom out, take that and attach it to my wall on my workspace right above my electronics station, and then just use this to measure things with. Measure. Awesome. Good news. Okay, here's my workbench, and there's the wall. I think I'm going to put this on. I think I'll just put it right like this. Be a good spot to put it. And I'm going to attach it with a French cleat. You know what a French cleat is? I will show you. Come this way. Your protection. So the idea is, this goes on the wall like this, clunk, and this is attached to the board, and slide it right in there like that, and it holds the whole thing up, the whole base. This is screwed onto the wall, like onto both studs, and I might even glue it so that it's sturdy, and it just holds the whole thing up. This is really darn heavy. It's probably 20 pounds. So that's the idea. So the big question is, where are the studs on here? And I do have a little electronic stud finder, but I also have this little stud finder right here. See them? And it's just a couple magnets. And the idea is the magnets will find where the screws are and the studs. So you just run it, oh, right there. So there's a stud right there. And there should be another one, another foot and a half. Whoop. There. Right. Right there. Is that it? Yeah. So there's one right there and one right there. Here we go. Pre-drilled for my convenience. You may be wondering why I'm not taking off the screen. It's because it's so darn difficult to get back on. Because obviously this screen, this screen came off of some sort of mount that was, made for the screen, and the bolts. I don't even know how I managed to get those bolts on there accurately. I didn't actually, as you know, because this screen is not level, but it's level enough. And I'm not gonna risk it again, so I'm gonna just leave that on there like that. And I'm gonna screw those on there like that. Sorry, get out of my way. Get out of my way, camera. Okay. Then should just slip right on like a piece. There you go. It's on the wall. Just like I imagined it. So I'll take my little Raspberry Pi and stick it right here, or maybe. Well, see, I reused the Velcro, so this is off of the bench, but this would be a good spot to put the Pi, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be nice to put it right there? Can you see that? That'd be a really good place. And then this would have to go somewhere else, but I kind of like that idea. I could even put Velcro right here and just, yeah, I'm liking it. All right,